and welcome to the Hot+keys podcast. This is a show where we talk about everything pop culture and random in the world. I'm your host, Mick, and I'm joined by...
Brandon Bich.
Landon Browning.
David
I'm pointing
Parker.
to Will. I mean, Dave.
Oh no, it's already falling
Will's
apart.
here too.
Wil Dobratz, I'm here.
It's June 25th. 2020. Welcome to the show, guys. How are you? How are
Hello.
we? Have 5 people today.
It's a special.
It is a special.
That's where you get jazzy chords, and you.
But with 5 people?
What?
Yeah, each person sings a note, so you do the triad, add the 9,
Okay, you
add
music
the
nerd.
7. Jazz.
What are you, some kind of like musician or something?
I mean, I dabble. I play drums, but I
So
know.
no.
I mean, you can say
Yikes.
too.
No.
It's a true statement.
No. That's the only thing I'm holding on to, Brent. Well, speaking of drums and people who play drums who are awesome and are actually musicians, Brandon, you just got a new drum set.
I mean, thank you for saying I'm awesome, but
I was talking about me, but yeah, sure. I guess you could be in there too.
I did. It's called a nesting kit from Treehouse Drums.
Please explain.
So a nesting kit, the kick drum opens up, has a little lid, and then the toms and snares fit inside, so you can literally haul your entire drum set in one baggie.
Like
Ooh.
a Russian nesting doll.
Yeah.
So do you have to
whatever.
take off like the tops and the backs of the drum heads each time, or is it easier to do it?
Yep. So the heads are mounted to the frame of the drum, the shell, and then they cut underneath it a little ways and then put little hooks, so it just latches together.
Okay, so you don't have to like unscrew every.
That'd be terrible.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would take a
I
long
was gonna say,
time.
you could do that pretty easily with any drum set.
Yep. But that kind of defeats the purpose.
There's a reason why people don't do that. It'd be horrible.
That's pretty sweet. So I use it in the National Guard, and then when I was active duty bands, that was my main drum set, hauling it around. So I could fit, like a 3-piece kit with hardware and stuff in the back of a van, and then wheel it out on a little collapsible hand truck, and then take it to the gig. So I'm pretty excited. And then I bought some new cymbals and kick pedals.
really nice cymbals.
Yeah, I'm
Do
turning
the
into a real
cymbals
drummer
nest
now.
inside each other as well?
That would be
Nice.
cool.
They fold.
Can you guys just fold them up?
So you just get a little cymbal baggie, and then a little duffel bag for the hardware, drums in the case, rocking and rolling.
What kick pedal did you get?
I got the Iron Cobra 600.
Ooh,
from
Earn
Canon.
Cobra. Those are good.
The dual.
Sorry,
something or other.
no one knows. No, probably no one
No,
knows.
I know
Sorry.
the Iron Cobra. So good, right, Landon?
Just
Right,
know
Will?
that Iron Cobra
Oh,
brand
yeah.
Cobra.
kick pedals are
Fantastic.
really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, you guys are up to date.
It's not as good as the Sidewinder, but Iron Cobra,
Wow. See, I feel like this is a Mick Brandon conversation, and everyone's
So, Brandon, what else has been going on?
built a fence.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw
I
that.
did. It turned out
It's
pretty
an
awesome.
update from not having a fence.
I mean, it was a chain link. Yep. And then ripped it down. My neighbor gave me $500 and just said, "Yep, whatever." So I said, "Sweet." So I built a 6-foot fence, put on a 12-inch topper, so it's a 7-foot fence.
You got some nice lights
So
too.
when Landon talks about making a fence, do some of you not feel like a man?
When Landon or Brandon?
Brandon, sorry.
We
When
got
Brandon,
Landon and Brandon on.
When I
so
hear
this-
Brandon talk about building a fence, like I get kind of excited. I'm like, that sounds fun. Like, you know what I mean?
It was a
Like,
cool project.
but the
can't
fact
see
that you
your
haven't done it,
shirt,
does it
so-
make you feel inferior at all?
Yes, Dave.
Not
Yes.
really.
To answer your
Oh.
question, yes.
I don't own a house, so there'd be like
You could put up a fence in here.
inside
Yeah.
my apartment. Be like, oh yeah, just
What?
build a little fence around the kitchen.
Got to keep the cockroaches out or something.
Pick it. But I've been
What?
busy with the garden. So I did the fence, and then I worked at a food bank for 30 days, packing boxes of frozen goods.
Yep.
And then
Oh, for
handing-
COVID stuff?
Yeah, so the National Guard has been doing that for a while now.
I mean, that's just a hoax anyway,
I mean, that's what they say, but, that's all I got to say about that.
I think that's all any of us have to say about that. Okay, well, thanks for being on, Brandon.
You're welcome. Take it easy, everybody.
Thanks for updating us on your life.
On your fence and your drums.
I mean, my life's pretty crazy.
Well, I'm gonna keep talking to Brandon because he's
Is
on
he
the
here?
podcast with us.
Hello.
So that would be rude if we stopped talking to him. I saw the what was it called? The NEOWISE comet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The what?
The
The comet.
the comet
NEOWISE?
that like comes around every like 70,000 years or
Oh
something.
gosh, I missed it.
Yeah, we don't get too
Dude.
much activity.
No,
The one time.
I was like, holy
Because
shit.
you've been distracted by the pandemic and
Yeah.
all the riots. But yeah, comet NEOWISE. I mean, I dabble in the astrology.
Astronomy.
Astrology is the
The weird stuff.
Yeah, it's not astrology.
or whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I got my little telescope I stole from my brother. So I try to keep up on things, but I haven't actually got to look at it myself because usually it's better at like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And I'm asleep by then.
How long will the comet be visible?
It's not visible anymore.
Yeah, it's drifting away now. So I think yesterday or 2 days ago.
The 23rd was the last day.
Yeah, that was
to see
the
it.
closest it was going to be. And then now because of its trajectory, the sun isn't hitting it as nice. So, and it's moving further. So now it's going to get dimmer and dimmer. But yeah, a few days ago, you could actually see it with your naked eye. So before you actually needed like some sort of optics to be able to see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could actually look up and see this thing. Like, oh, check that out. But I just kind of live vicariously through everybody else who's checking it out. So I saw a photo somebody shared of someone in Colorado hiked up 13,000 feet and then took a picture.
Boy.
And so you just see.
Well, that probably looked really nice with
Yeah,
no
cool
like
tail.
bleeding lights or
You
anything.
probably almost touch it from there. You know?
And then
Oh, it's hot. I can feel
there's
the
this
heat.
like warm glow on the other side of the mountain range, and he's like, "Oh yeah, and that's the city of whatever." So just how long his exposure was captured all that plus the tail. So I mean, it was a pretty cool photo. But yeah, I didn't get to see it with my own eyes.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll just have to wait another few thousand years.
I mean,
for another one.
I was able to see it. I used binoculars. My dad and I and my mom were looking at it, and I mean, honestly, if you didn't know what you were looking at, it almost looked like just a smudge on the binoculars. Like, what's that like slightly blurrier star up there? I mean, it looked cool though. Like once you figured out what it was, it's like, oh yeah, you see like the tail, like coming off the end, and
It's not, every day a comet comes streaming by.
yeah.
But when I went out a couple nights ago, I think it was when I was texting with you about it, but
Mhm.
It's too bright where I'm at, and then just all the houses and trees in the way. So
Yeah.
I looked up though and had a good view of Jupiter and Saturn. They're like right next to each other.
Yeah, those are pretty bright. Jupiter's always pretty bright, right?
Well, yeah, it's a large planet.
Yeah,
It's
it's
very-
big.
That's what I've heard. Yeah,
the
it's pretty
cactus
big,
lots of
right?
light.
Jupiter's the biggest planet in the solar system, right?
That is correct.
Good job, Will.
It's Pluto.
We're on trivia early this time.
Wait, is Pluto considered a planet?
You know,
now?
they
No,
go
it's
back
not.
and forth. I think
Nope.
Pluto is smaller than the moon.
it's tiny.
So
but just
Yeah,
because
it's
of
tiny.
size doesn't matter.
its orbit is like a planet. So I don't know.
I know, but like we don't consider asteroids planets. They
What if
are
we did?
satellites of the sun. What do
But
you mean?
asteroids
If we
aren't
did?
planets.
Well, if we did, then,
Maybe-
if we
maybe they
did,
should.
then our solar system would have millions of planets.
Well,
That'd be
maybe
cool.
maybe
That'd
we
be
should
so
do that.
cool.
Our solar system
We could
kind of
all-
sucks right now with only 8 apparently.
You could buy planets then. You know, if there's millions of them, you just like be like, oh, I'll buy
And
that.
then you could
What are you
ride
gonna
one.
do with? What are you gonna do with a planet, Landon?
settle
you
it,
move there?
colonize it, terraform it.
Yeah, you can buy
Build a
Planet
it.
fen-
Landon?
you can build a
You can
fence
name
on
a
it.
star, right?
Yeah,
Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can name a star, like a star that's out there. You can. I don't know if you actually pay for it.
I think it's like $50.
Something, man. Yeah, it's like a registrar, and you actually like this star in this exact whatever quadrant.
With my luck,
Wow.
I'd picked a star that like 3 days later just
It
goes
burns
out.
out.
Oh,
Then you have a black
Oh.
hole, so that's cool. Do you have to read? Do you have to
Dave,
like? Do you have to
I,
relicense it if it changes to a
I don't
black
think
hole?
so.
I feel like it's kind of
Maybe.
like copyright, like where you have to keep like
You have to keep renewing it every 70
keep
million.
renewing it. Yeah.
You're getting like really
Huh?
deep into the star owning asteroid business. But it's not
Who
far.
regulates that? Because they
We're
do,
almost
they do
Mars.
the thing where
NASA,
you
right?
they regulate who can buy
How do you
and
think?
name a
How do you
star.
think they pay for anything? It's
I don't
from
know.
the naming stars.
never-
Defund NASA.
Famous
Defund
now.
NASA. What?
Dave out here trying to get political.
Dave, we're
So
trying to get to
annoying.
Mars.
It's so annoying
Every
when Dave
time-
Dave always tries to like push his like fringe left politics on the show, and it's like, God,
We've
like,
frankly had enough, Dave.
yeah. Like, just because you're a communist doesn't mean we have to be
Gosh
communists.
dang it.
Well, there you go, Mick.
And yeah,
Comment
So-
NEOWISE.
hopefully someone out there saw it because it was kind of kind
I mean, I don't think any of us saw it, but
No, I think I was the only one that saw it.
Landon's been working.
Yeah,
Yeah, like a
Tired.
70-hour week.
yeah, just about a couple hours shy. 68,
Oh, so not 70.
not quite.
I guess get back out there. What are you doing?
Get back out there, get
That's
that.
2 hours, man.
Finish it off. Finish the job.
Got work to do. I have no segue for this, so I'm just going to go into it.
All right.
Toilet paper. When you put toilet paper on the mount or on the wall,
Mhm.
there's like a right way to put it on there,
We've
right?
already talked about this on the show.
Where
I
have you
think.
been, Mick?
Maybe.
There's only one correct way. That is
Right?
over the top.
Yes. Right? We're all in agreement?
Yeah.
I just set mine on the counter next to me.
Cheating.
No, dude, don't. Come on.
Loophole.
I just hold my
Dave
finger
doesn't
out and I put
actually
it on there.
own.
But Dave, which side do you put the roll? Because you set it down, right? So do you
I
put
set it on the.
on that?
I set it on the
I understand what
circular
you're saying,
part.
but the roll's sticking up, right? So you still have to unroll it from either the left.
So do you mean clockwise or counterclockwise?
Yeah, there you go. Which
I
one
actually
is
don't
the
use toilet paper. I have a bidet.
Which way is the bidet facing? Is it facing into the
Always.
hole or into the bowl?
Up. Oh. Have any of you ever used a bidet before?
Yeah,
I have not.
I have not.
It kind of scares me. I mean, does it work well? Does it?
Have you not used one?
No, I've read that they're actually really nice.
I used
but
one and you haven't used
I don't
one.
know.
I
Where
know
have you used a
People
bidet?
who own them and they love it. They will never use toilet paper ever again. Well,
I mean, it makes
water
more
out of the
sense
way.
than toilet paper, right?
Yeah, they say it's the most hygienic, way to clean yourself, which is true because you're not really touching anything. Just kind of rinses it away, and then I think some even have a little dryer, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
if you like those
Oh, heck
Japanese
yeah.
toilets.
Yeah,
Yep. And so it kind of just blows some
It's
air.
also like laser guided. Like it triangulates.
it locks onto the
Target acquired.
stain. But yeah, I'm told people love it.
Fox 3.
Stay
We
on-
need more firepower.
I'm giving her all she's got.
Wait, okay. Where have you used a bidet?
I don't remember.
You
I
don't
do have
remember?
a distinct memory though. Of
I feel like
water
that would be
shooting
so
up my butt,
life changing.
so-
That like that's how you keep track of time. It's like pre bidet and post bidet.
Maybe.
Wait, that doesn't work because they both would be PB.
Well, you can do A B. So anno bidet bidet I don't know what the Latin word is for bidet. So yeah,
Oh my gosh.
before bidet.
No, I
and
don't.
anno
I don't remember where I
bidet.
use it, but I do. I mean, that's something you don't forget. The feeling.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like it was so life changing that I feel like how would you forget where you used?
But I think it was so life changing that
That it
my memory
wiped
of
it from your
anything
memory?
else about it.
Right, wipe. We
got
can't use
erased.
wipe. That you
Yeah, wipe my memory.
flushed it from your memory.
Oh, flushed it away.
Oh man.
Goodness.
I mean, what you're trying to get at though is that over the roll is the correct way, right? I mean, that's the way toilet paper is supposed to go.
Remember. I think I saw it on Facebook or something. It was a little cartoon picture of how to remember how to do it the right way, and it was a picture of the toilet paper with a face on it, and it says on one panel it says mullets aren't cool, and it's the one within the back, and then it says beards are cool, and it's the one in the front.
That's
So just remember that beards are cool, mullets.
I mean,
I'll swap it if I'm at other people's houses. When I
Oh,
find it the other way.
man.
I'll take the roll
you
off.
correct
That's a
them?
power
Yeah.
move.
Yeah.
And do you
Yeah.
tell them you do it?
Oh
or
no,
do
no,
you-
no! I don't tell.
Okay.
I don't tell them.
You wait for them to come in and be like, "What
Yeah.
the heck?"
I'll do it at my
Well,
parents'
I
house.
bet they
So I'll go
fake
to my
you.
parents' house and they always do it wrong. And I'll just go in the bathroom. I'll just change it and leave. Like,
I used to be a janitor, and I worked with another janitor, not Brandon. This is a different janitor because Brandon and I actually both worked as janitors at this
I
place.
was gonna say, wait, what was the story?
And this other guy, I don't know if he just didn't pay attention or he did it the opposite, but he would do behind like 80% of the time. So whenever I would come in to change toilet paper, even if it was full, I would change it around so that it was flopped forward.
Do I know
I
this
would-
person?
I would make it a beard, not a mullet.
say their name.
What? No, it's not important. I'm just saying that
They should be shamed.
like I care enough
They should
about
be
this
shamed.
that I
They should be
changed
shamed.
Shame.
that I would change, the orientation of the toilet paper.
Dave, you're such an American hero.
I know. I mean, I'm invested.
Just slowly but surely taking back the world,
Yeah.
one toilet paper roll at a time.
One square at a time. Mick uses wet wipes, which actually are not good for pipes.
That is true.
They get clogged in
They're
there.
good.
I don't think
Because
any
they
of them are.
dissolve.
Okay, a lot of things say a lot of things, like it's.
I don't know if they
flushable.
dissolve.
That
They
is
do not
true.
dissolve. Did you say because it says flushable?
Yeah,
That doesn't mean they're
No.
good
No,
for-
no. Yeah, they are not. They don't dissolve. They
Fine, I'll just start throwing them away then.
That's what you're
Okay.
supposed to do. Actually, is throw them away, and because
Oh,
that's what they do in countries where they don't have like systems that can support flushing
Well, you know what? This
toilet
is a
paper.
country where we do have that. So
Like Mexico.
No,
they
no.
don't-
I'm gonna flush my wet wipes.
No, you're
I
not
heard
supposed
they
to
have, like,
flush your wet wipes.
paper in
Actually,
Mexico.
yeah, you're.
I trust packaging writing.
No, it doesn't mean dissolvable. It means
Almost anything's flushable. Like really,
Yeah.
like
Nick, you need to go and
You
look
can
up
flush paper
photos.
towels.
Ew.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
No.
Well, it's not too bad. But
Yeah, what are they called? Bergs or something? Like toilet
Yeah.
paper bergs?
yeah,
Yep.
so they literally like clump together and cause lots of problems for not
Mhm.
just you, but your whole neighborhood.
Well, I'm supplying jobs to the people that go out and clean that
Are you
stuff. So
kidding me?
I'm doing my part.
That's terrible.
You could justify littering that way. Like you could just be like, I'm
That's
creating
what I
volunteer
do.
hours.
That's how I justify littering. Exactly.
All those prisoners need something to do. Okay, so I'm gonna throw my trash bag out the highway.
Without that, there wouldn't have been that episode of Dirty Jobs.
Okay.
Is,
mean,
is
if
that
I
what we
was-
should base all of our decisions on?
If I was in
Yes.
prison though, like being part of the litter pickup crew, like I feel like that'd be the best thing ever. Like actually getting outside.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Get
Some
some fresh air.
sunshine. People are just leaving you alone.
And then you
Sounds
can
like a great reason to go to prison. Let's
And
do
then
it.
Mick comes driving down the road and beams you with a bag of McDonald's that he already ate because he's supporting the cause. You're welcome, prisoners.
That sounds like a B movie, like revenge plot. Like
All right, let's write it. We'll write it and make it.
You're welcome. I clicked
You
right.
you can make it. You can't release it though.
Oh,
Not in theaters.
movie theaters
Yeah.
are done. It's over. They're done.
Yeah, Tenant is delayed indefinitely.
That was the last bastion of hope for movies for this year, and when that was
going to be the movie that like brought everyone back.
That
and
cured Rona.
can't-
we did it. Mission accomplished.
apparently it might release in Europe before it releases in America.
Yeah.
No.
That's so
Wait,
dumb.
why would they do that, Will? Can you explain why they would maybe?
Oh,
release it
Because
in
Europe
first?
is doing far better, like a far better response to the coronavirus than America.
Yeah, we're talking about movies here.
Dave wants to push this fringe life of politics.
Seriously, every time
I'm waiting for the movie about coronavirus. I'm surprised it's not out yet.
they can't
You know,
release it.
All right, what are the numbers? How's Europe doing? Since you want to bring it up, let's just talk about it. Dave really wants to talk about it. How's Europe doing?
Wait, are you asking me?
Yeah, you
Your
seem
name
to
is
know so
Dave.
much about.
No, Will was the one that said it. I was asking a question.
You're
I
the
didn't have
one
an
that wanted to
answer.
make it.
I asked why would Europe? be
Oh,
able
you
to
knew
release the
why
movie, but
though.
we
You
wouldn't
knew
be
why.
able
You're
to.
like, look at you trying to hide. Look at you trying to hide. Yeah, if Dave's backpedaling so fast, like the shame.
Okay, so I remember a
Will's
couple
quiet.
episodes ago. I'm changing the subject. I remember a couple episodes ago that, and I guess I'm kind of defending myself.
Mhm.
But a couple episodes ago, I think I said like I don't laugh at anything like when I'm by myself.
Yeah, you did say that. That
Like, I
you just
don't
can't like you think it's weird to laugh at movies or laugh at TV shows. That you kind of just like you appreciate the humor, but you don't
Right.
appreciate it by laughing out
Like
loud.
I'm laughing on the inside. And I realized that I sounded like a jaded loser when I said that. So I don't know if I like actively went out and tried to
no,
find something
we weren't
that
thinking
I
that.
laughed at, or but I do remember, and I did find a show that I do love a lot that makes me laugh by myself every time, and it's Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Oh yeah,
The
That's,
original U.S. version.
it's
Not the
hard if
or
you
the-
don't laugh at Whose Line, then I think you're probably a crazy person.
I think I've seen a little bit of that. Not much. But
Mick will get on these kicks. He'll get. You know how you go through like media phases, either through franchises or something. Every once in a while, Michael will get on this Whose Line Is It Anyway fix, and he'll just watch these Whose Line clips on YouTube. And
Because you can't get I think you can get like season 1 on DVD, but that's it. I've looked for them and they don't exist.
but I mean they're too funny. There's not a lot that's funnier than Whose Line Is It
a
Anyway.
sketch comedy show or what?
It's all improv.
Oh, okay.
I only know because they like revamped a bunch of the older like game shows, whatever.
Mhm.
And so I've only watched it through that.
Oh, like the
I
newer
see-
seasons.
Yeah, I guess so. But
It's like
other than
everyone's
that-
old now and gray.
No, maybe I'm thinking of a different one. So it's all the like famous actors, actresses, and then there's 2 guests. All right, then I'm thinking about a whole different show. Never mind.
What are you thinking of?
Timing out. I don't even know what it's called.
I think of like Hollywood Squares or something.
It's kind of like that, but not Hollywood Squares though. 'Cause I don't-
American Idol.
no.
X Factor.
So you get the 2 game show or like 2 audience members, and then you have all the like actors and actresses and famous celebrities, whatever, and they're sitting there, and then I can't remember if they're like asking questions.
Who Wants to Be a
Oh.
Millionaire?
No,
Like Family Feud or
no.
Yep, Family
I'm
Feud.
doing a terrible job describing it. I'm done. Chime
I
in.
saw some of the cast of Whose
They-
Line.
Yeah, you saw
live.
them
They-
live, didn't you?
Yeah, they do this thing. So it was most of the regular cast. So like Ryan Stiles was there. Who else was on the show?
Brad Sherwood, Greg Proops.
Yeah, Greg Probst was there. They had some guy who's on Mad Men. It's the dad of what's the girl from Community that Landon's obsessed with?
Allison Brie.
Alison Brie. Yeah. So the guy who plays her dad in Mad Men, he was one of the people there. And there was some other guy, but like, yeah, I went and saw them live with Brianna. And they did all these, it's just this live, improv show that was super funny. I mean, it was awesome. I'm glad I got to go. The whole time that I was there though, I was,
But the best, I don't know.
the best cast member.
Best cast member wasn't there, right?
Yeah, Colin Mockery wasn't there.
Colin Mockery is
but
the
Ryan
funniest person on the
Stiles
planet.
was there, and he's funny.
He's a close second, and especially like you hear people talk about like the best like comedy duos, like Abbott Costello. I can't think
Laurel
of anyone
and
else.
Hardy.
Yeah, Laurel and Hardy. Ren and Stimpy.
What?
What?
Itchy and Scratchy?
Itchy and Scratchy. But cat and dog or dog.
Gosh, dang.
Dog, cat, dog.
But Ryan Stiles and Colin Mockery, if you haven't watched any clips of them on Whose Line especially, like their chemistry is so good and they just riff off each other so well. They're so funny. But yeah, Colin Mockery is like the funniest person on the planet to me. Even when he doesn't say something like especially funny, his delivery is really good.
Does he make you like want to be a funnier person, or does he make you feel discouraged that you'll never be as funny as him?
No, he gives me hope.
He reaffirms
Gives you
that
hope?
they're just as funny as him.
I mean, I don't know, like we do improv here.
Are you guys the kind of people?
Oh.
Are you guys the kind
Oh,
of people
no.
that when you see inspiration that like you tend to have
Optimist or pessimist?
yeah, are you optimistic or pessimistic? When I see things, I usually think like I will never get to that level, and it depresses me. I wish I was the other way around though, where I see something and it like gives me inspiration to try harder. But when I see things that's like are really funny or really good or really dramatic, like my response is like, man, I'll never be able to do that.
When I see Roger Federer not drop a single set in the Australian Open, I'm like, someday I'll get there.
For me, it's always I see somebody do something or something like that, and I'm like, wow, I really want to do it, and so I go and try to, and then I realize, oh, I can't.
Really
That's
hard.
why I'm not where they are.
Well, it's kind of hard to like hold yourself to the standards of people that are like the best at their craft. Like
That's their full-time job.
yeah,
and
their
even
full-time
more.
job, and it's not like Roger Federer's like, anybody could do what Roger Federer did. Like he clearly was gifted in that field.
Yeah, I think some people just have a natural ability on top of working really hard at their
Well,
craft.
and I would say there are a lot of people that see people like that, and it inspires them, and then they become like those people. And for me,
I definitely watch videos of
it's
like
opposite.
a 5-year-old kid crushing it on guitar or something, and I'm like, nope, I'm done. I'm 7 years old. I'm never gonna play like that. So I give up.
I hate those videos of like, watch this 3-year-old play drums like Dave Grohl. I'm like, no, I don't want to, kid. No.
I'd say I'm on the pessimistic side for sure.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's me.
Or I just accept that I'll never be that good and just be content.
That's
You know,
pessimism.
on the
middle
ground.
ground.
Well, you can
You're
still
accepting
be-
your mediocrity right there, Brandon.
There you go. Flip a coin.
I think you could have a middle. You could have a middle ground on it, right? Where you're like, well, I probably can't be as good as this person, but I could put more effort in and become better than I am now, right?
Do you ever think that?
I'm just saying that you can do that.
Answer the question, Landon.
I think sometimes maybe. Probably a lot of times pessimistic though.
Like you look at Alison Brie, you're like,
I can be
Oh,
as
I tried
attractive
really
as her
hard. Maybe I
someday.
could look like her. I mean, we were
exactly. If I buy the right wig.
Allison Brie's a national treasure.
Everyone's taking a drink of coffee. By everyone, I just mean Landon and me.
Good
Improv.
coffee.
Oh.
See, now we're talking about it. Whose line is it anyways? The like 4 guys or 4
Yeah.
people? And then they start doing stuff. Okay. The thing I was talking
The
about,
cast members come
Not
up
that.
with stars or whatever you were talking about. You don't remember what you're saying?
I know the
You know
show.
Drew
I'm talking
Carey?
about. I
You know
remember
Drew
the name.
Carey, right?
Yeah, Drew Carey. He's
Yeah,
like
he's
kind
like,
of
"Scene from a hat."
moderator,
Who's the
I guess.
host? Yeah.
And then so you got the guys that go out and just do whatever the theme is. And
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all improvised. Yeah. Okay, I know that one.
Okay.
What
Yeah,
I
there you
was
go.
talking about, I still can't think of the name of it, but it's some game show.
Get back to us, because now I'm
All right,
curious.
well,
I don't
And
like game
I'm
shows.
optimistic about hearing what Landon or Brandon is talking about.
I don't like game shows. Game shows are too much like reality TV that it kind of I feel like it's almost like a blight on the television industry.
Really, Deal or No Deal? It doesn't do it for you?
Deal?
Howie
Gosh.
Mandel gets up there with the suitcases and like the beautiful women. He's like,
That's probably the only game show I could do somewhat well at.
Because it's just random and guessing.
Yeah.
The
Eeny,
ones-
meeny, miny, mo.
The ones I do like are ones that are like trivia. Who's lying or not? Who's the millionaire? But the format of that show is it takes so long to get through any questions that it's just unbearable almost. But if it's not something that tests,
watch it at 1.5 times.
if it's not something that tests, intelligence or something like that, then I think game shows for the most part are really dumb. Like
That's why we picked Trivia Extraordinaire as our segment for a game show.
oh
Wait.
yeah, because it tests your knowledge. It's not
Dave-
it's not The Price is Right or something.
Dave, are you saying like your favorite shows are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Like
No,
shows
no,
like
no,
that?
no. It's the format of that. I did not
Dave is
like.
a big
It
Jeff
takes
Foxworthy
it
fan.
takes too long to get through anything, and the format was dumb.
Why do you hate so much? There's so much hate in your life, Dave. Like,
But there's so much to love too. There's a lot I love.
What do you love?
I love Divinity 2: Original
I'm
Sin.
sorry, that answer is incorrect.
I told Brandon about that game. I think Brandon would like Divinity. An
probably
RPG,
would, yeah.
a fantasy RPG lover.
I'm
Like
playing
Brandon.
it, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see, you
Brandon-
need to stop
Brandon
having
really
kids.
building a
That way you
fence. Like,
stop having
I did
kids so you can play video games again.
I only have the two, and that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it.
yeah. Stop. Yeah, no more.
No, I'm out.
What?
See, I'm waiting for my son Nolan to get older, so then we can actually like play games together, build Legos.
You're
He's
training.
almost
You're
there.
training him up pretty well, though,
I'm
right?
trying. He's doing pretty good.
You
Is
said
he
he
gonna
was
fight
like,
back and be like, "No, Dad, I don't want to play your dumb video
wanna
games. I want to play sports."
Probably.
So I was thinking about this the other day because I don't know why it just popped in my head. As like little kids, or I guess even older, depending on how mature you were,
Older
did you guys
kids.
ever get like lost in a store, like from your parents?
I don't think I ever did.
I have a small memory, yeah, of where I got separated because I was playing in the clothes racks, and
Nice.
then they all moved on, and I didn't.
So you moved the clothes rack with
No,
like, stocking them?
Must have just got out and looked around. I just remember, I don't remember what store or where, but I just remember, being afraid of like, where did everybody go? Oh no! So yeah, I remember crying and finding somebody or like an associate working there saw me, and then it goes to the intercom. Yeah, can the parents of? Oh, yeah, can the parents of Brandon? So anyway,
That happened to me once where I was in a store and I don't remember like freaking out or anything, but I just remember like being really confused because I didn't know where anyone was. So I would just like walk around the store and found an employee and they were like, "Oh, are you lost?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't know where anyone is." And then they took me up to the counter and was like, can someone come up and get their son, Michael? Anyone lose their son named Michael?
And then nobody came.
And no one came.
Now you were 15 when this happened, right?
And and weeks later, I was finally adopted by the parents that I have now.
And then that's when Michael became my brother. Like we're not birth
Yep.
siblings
I never knew who my real parents were.
because they ditched him in a Walmart in St. Louis.
At 15, you can't remember what they look like.
Yep. It was so traumatic that lost all memory. Like bidet. Don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
yeah. So the bidet was pre.
Maybe the bidet was in the
pre-losing
bathroom
your
there,
parents.
and you went to the bathroom.
Maybe
and
the
had that, and
bidet
it's-
were my parents.
Oh my gosh.
Will has just looking at Will's face. He has no reaction to that. Like none. He just blank.
It's delayed.
Not impressed.
I do have another. I didn't get lost or anything, but I think I was in a McDonald's
Mhm.
with my dad.
You got lost in a McDonald's? Those are tiny.
I said I didn't get lost. I was in line with my dad, and I was a really little kid, so I was like holding his hand and kind of on his arm a little bit, like just
He
kind
was
of
12
around,
in this.
kind of like looking around and stuff. And I think he like was talking to someone, so he let go, or I let go, or something. So I let go of his arm, and he was like talking to somebody else, and I was just kind of like looking around, and I like took a couple steps forward, and the line was moving, so I took a couple steps forward and I grabbed his arm again, and I was like, I didn't realize my dad's arm was so hairy. Like, this is a really hairy arm. Like, what happened? I don't remember like my dad being a werewolf. Like, what's going on? And I looked up and I just like had walked forward to the next guy up front. I grabbed some stranger's arm and he was looking at me like, "Hey, I'm not your dad."
I don't remember
know why, but that's like a distinct memory I have
Oh yeah,
when I was a
like
kid.
that. You don't forget.
I don't remember anything
Scary
like that happening. I don't know. Maybe I just blocked out all my
Never
like
thought I'd
terrifying
meet
memories as a
Yeti
child.
McDonald's line.
Oh, you meet all kinds of.
I just don't
strange-
remember going to a lot of fast food places when we were younger because my parents didn't want to go to fast food.
There's food at home.
Yeah, Landon's mantras or Landon's
got-
parents' mantras.
we have-
as
We
a
have
kid.
leftover loaf of bread. You can eat that with butter. And it's not even butter; it's margarine.
Gosh. I didn't have real butter until I was old. I mean, because my parents literally only had vegetable spread or margarine. It wasn't
It
until
got so bad
much later
where
that
I almost prefer the taste of margarine over butter.
yeah, that's like an abusive relationship I think that you have with that spread.
Like if I wanted bread and butter, I would get margarine and butter.
No,
I think
butter.
my mom thought margarine was evil, so I don't
Wait, really?
or I mean, like she was against margarine.
Why are you surprised by that?
Yeah, like margarine's like
Because
processed.
I thought butter would be the evil thing because butter is just
Butter's all natural.
pure
Yeah, it's all-
fat.
Yeah, I know, but like it's natural. Like margarine is like processed.
Yep.
Like,
When you have
Vegetable
to add
oil. It's
coloring,
coagulated
like
vegetable oil with
edible.
other.
we bought milk from the farm, like non-homogenized, non-pasteurized milk. We drank that for years.
straight from the udder.
Yeah, straight from the udder.
Now, you would have to milk the chickens yourself, right?
Dave, I don't know where you grew up.
Dave doesn't know how farm or animals work.
Dave's dumb.
I mean, if it was milk from a chicken, I'd probably drink it. I'm just gonna be
Oh.
honest. It's milk. Like,
It's whole milk, right? Well,
yeah, exactly.
Chicken milk. Oh,
Chicken milk. I mean,
so gross.
Would you eat an egg
never
from a
know.
cow then? Like, would they be a huge egg, like an ostrich egg?
Yeah.
As long as you put it on a huge burger, then I'd probably eat it. Like,
They can milk an almond.
Can you imagine trying to like steal a cow egg from like a bunch of like savage
Angry
like angry
mom
cows?
cows.
Like
You get-
they're like
Yeah, you get hoofed. You're gonna
So
get
big.
hoofed to death or something.
Yeah. You have to like roll it like in Galaxy Quest. No.
Soka.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, that would be pretty much it. Yeah.
I looked up
Um,
the game I was talking about. The game show.
Oh, what was it?
Match game. That's what it's called.
I've never heard
that's
of
probably the
I've heard of
worst
match
name
game.
ever.
I've never seen it though.
Yeah, it's got Alec Baldwin. He's the host.
I think Match Game, wasn't that the one that Charles Nelson Riley was on?
Yeah, sure.
I thought he was on Hollywood Squares.
It was part of Hollywood Squares, I think. It was like part of their thing that they did together. It was on the same channel and same block of weird game shows.
Okay. All right. We're taking a break, and we'll be right back after this short but no
After
math.
these short messages.
Welcome back, guys.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Yes.
We're back. We're back.
Lots of energy. Yay.
And we're gonna have some good concrete topics to talk about, guys.
I
We're
hate
gonna
you.
talk about video games.
Dave gave us
What's
a
everyone
pep
playing?
Mick is so mean.
Let's start with Landon. What do you got, boy?
I bought Sucker Punch's new game, Ghost of Tsushima.
Game of the year?
Probably a better game than The Last of Us 2. Just gonna say.
No, probably not. Definitely not, actually, from what I've played. I'm like 5 hours in, and it's very good. It's a very fun game.
The game just looks pretty.
It's a very pretty game. The combat's fun. It's
What's the combat
fun.
like? Because that's kind of the big thing for me. Is it?
It's
It's like
kind of.
Guitar Hero.
I have a hard time. So you have light and heavy attacks, and then dodging and blocking. So I guess I'm trying to like it's kind of actiony, maybe like a little bit more in depth than Arkham. Like there's more strategy to it than Arkham.
Like
You can't
the
just
Star Wars game? What's the Star Wars one that just came out?
Fallen Order or whatever.
Kind of like that, or is it
kind of, a little
parrying
bit.
and stuff?
There's parrying. The main off-putting thing is there's no lock on.
Oh yeah, so you're just aiming.
Yeah,
all
so like,
swinging.
yeah.
So
it's
do you have to
kinda
use
hard.
both sticks a lot then?
Yeah,
like,
to kind
okay.
of like It's good though. I like the open world is fun. It's cool. There's no like official waypoints, so you kind of actually have to explore for things. Like,
So it's an open world game.
yep, it's open world.
Well, I heard like I watched like the video of kind of gameplay of it, and like it's like in world stuff like to get you to go to certain places, like you like follow like an animal or something, or like you follow the wind.
Yep, yeah. If you set your waypoint, like it'll show how far away it is on your mini map that you can pull up. But like if you need to get directions, so you swipe up on the D-pad, and a kind of gust of wind comes through, and like you just
Swipe up on the D-pad. Do you mean the touchpad?
Yeah.
You can still swipe the D-pad.
Swipe it.
I don't think it'll do that though.
Yeah, and it'll just show you the direction that you're supposed to go. It's kind of like somewhat reminiscent of like BioShock Infinite, where you could hit a certain button, it would kind of like an arrow would kind of briefly appear to show which direction you're supposed to go. But besides that, it's like a minimal HUD kind of thing. It's nice. It's fun. I'd recommend it.
It looks really pretty. I mean, it looks gorgeous. So I think
the photo mode's supposed to be good if you're into that kind of thing too.
Oh, I love because I don't think I talked about this when we had our 8-hour conversation about The Last of Us. But that's one thing I really liked about The Last of Us 2 was the photo mode, and I would stop
another reason.
I would stop every few minutes, and I would take a cool photo in the game, and then I use it as my background right now on PS4.
That's pretty big in like this generation of games. I think
Horizon had a great one.
Look so much better.
Red Dead.
Red Dead.
Spider-Man, yeah.
Going back to the Guitar Hero thing, that was a reference to did you guys know this, that the original build of the Arkham games, Arkham Asylum, that was their combat system, was like a Guitar Hero like button
Wait,
thing.
what do you mean?
So they like for combat, it would like scroll down the buttons you had to hit to
no, it was a rhythm
That sounds
game?
terrible.
Yeah.
Man, that game would have bombed.
Yeah, wouldn't that be terrible?
We wouldn't have all the Arkham games. I was the only one.
No. I just can't imagine that, because the combat system in those games is like a huge reason why people love those games.
Yeah.
That kind of set the stone, right? For like, that kind of set the baseline for a lot of combat, right? You have your typical counter, punch, and like dodge. Like those are your three functions, right? Like
pretty much
really streamline those things.
I mean, there were games that had done it before, but Arkham was like the game that did it well, and like.
Well, it set the standard, kind of like Will was saying.
Yeah.
Forward for all other third-person kind of action combat games.
Right.
I would say.
Really accessible combat. Like you could get fancy with it if you wanted to, or on harder difficulties. But like I don't feel like it was too challenging.
Like you could push square the whole time and be fine, but you can also do like jump square.
Well, you could do the blocks and parries too. The more I've played games through the years, the more I love a good parry in a game. It's challenging, but it's not too hard, and it feels so good when you got a parry.
So.
Thanks for the high energy, Dave.
Yeah, Dave. Weirdo.
Like in the Star Wars game, my favorite thing was using the blocks and
I didn't block like 2/3 of the way through the game.
Oh yeah,
that was one of the most fun parts of the game for me was doing that.
I love blocking the lasers.
Yeah, that was
from the guns.
That
was
you
satisfying.
mean blasters.
The laser bolts.
Come on.
The laser guns and the star swords.
They're phasers, right? That's what they call them, phasers.
So Brandon, what games are you playing?
So I have no time to play games, but I have a couple hours. So I have the Switch, and they have the 51.
That's the Nintendo console, for those who don't know.
That's it. So that's pretty much all I get to play on, because I can just have it right there in front of me. But I have the 51 classics, whatever. So it's just a bunch of old school board games. And then
board
51 of them. Oh yeah, and card games. So it has like Connect 4 and chess and
cheesy
and some of the Eastern games. No, but they have a shogi, which is like their version of chess. I think it's Japanese, probably Chinese. Anyway, so it's a similar concept where you have pieces. So you have your pawns, and then the others that only move specific ways. So kind of same, just as chess. But their version's cool because you actually like upgrade your piece once you get to the enemy side, and so then it can move like any direction or whatever.
Isn't that how checkers works?
Checkers, yeah, same concept where you king.
You king them and you can go like anywhere.
Yeah, well, not anywhere, but you stick to
you could go off road. Like
no,
you get treads.
So I've been jamming on that. There's one I think everyone knows it as Othello. So it's like a checkered pattern board, and you start with white and black, and then as you lay down your white or black piece, you capture the other ones and you flip them over. And the goal is to occupy the whole checkerboard by flipping over your opponent.
Is that the same as Go, or is that different?
I don't know, but they call it Renegade on the Switch. But anyway, I'm So as you play, it starts with like an easy computer, and then you can master it by beating 4 levels. And so it's like beginner, and then next one is something. Third one's amazing, and then impossible is the 4th computer. So I'm on amazing on Othello/Renegade, and I cannot beat it. Like, I just do not understand the concept of the game or something.
So when that happens, you're like, I'll never be this good.
Probably, but I mean, yeah, because the computer's pretty good, and in that one, there's just a lot of strategy, and I don't know the game. So anyway, I've probably lost, 100 times now, and then I just restart, try different strategy. Nope. And then I feel like I'm crushing it because there's only 64 squares right on the board, and so I'm just dominating. And then it just positions itself to be on the opposite side of all of my pieces. So now I don't have anywhere to play. And then for the next 5 turns, is just capture everything, capture everything, capture everything. Oh, look, you lost, loser. So anyway, I've been jamming on that. There's a lot of good ones too.
I have the game too, and what I've found is that the impossible CPUs are truly sometimes impossible to beat.
Oh yeah, like they know all of the angles and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you have to like play perfect to beat them. And I think I've only beaten a couple impossible CPUs. The one that I've beaten is there's a game called Hounds and Hares.
Yep.
Which I found really fun. But you can kind of really easily cheese that game to win depending on what you play as. And it's where
just play the hare. It's easier.
Yeah, just play the hare basically and run out the clock.
Dogs and rabbits?
Basically, yeah. So it's an old school game, and there's like 3 hounds and the hare, and then it's on a kind of interesting board, and so they can only move straight on one side, and then it turns into an angle, and so the whole point is to position the hounds to capture the hare where it can't move anywhere, and so you just alternate turns. It's really old school. They
are old school games
too, but then they have a Presidents card game. Yeah, so I was like, I know that one, but then there's
do they call it Presidents?
Yeah, and then there's some other rules though. So there's the 3 of spades reversal, and so if you have the 3 of spades when you get to the last card or whatever, you can play that and you win the hand.
Oh, really?
So there's that rule, and then they throw in the Joker. So the Joker is the wild, and then we also, I don't know if we ever played this, but you can do runs. So if you have the same suit, you can do 2, 3, 4 or 2, 3, 4, 5 as long as it's the same.
Oh, like in
suit.
one.
No, we've never done runs.
Oh, and now
done pairs or triples or quads.
We never did. Yeah, so we did that, like 4 of a kind. But yeah, when I saw the run, my mind just melted. I'm like, well, you can do that. But anyway, so it has some cool classics in there that brought me back to our little gaming days.
Nice.
So there
Cool.
you go.
That seems like a good like party game to bring over. To
yeah, you can only have up to 4 people.
Oh, never
which
mind.
is kind
Sounds
of
terrible.
Yeah, and then if you play online, same.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But with Nintendo,
Even like with Presidents?
Yeah.
What?
So yeah, only 4 people. But yeah, Nintendo has their subscription to play online, and I'm too cheap, I guess.
How much is it?
I think it's like
It's $20 a year. It's $20 a year. It's not even that bad.
You just spent like over $3,000 on a drum set.
Yeah, well, almost 4,000.
Oh,
You're right over
I was trying to lowball it for you.
Yeah.
I don't know if your wife listens.
Oh, I hope she doesn't. She doesn't know.
She
I bought
doesn't. There's no way.
She doesn't even know that you bought it at all?
She does. Yeah, we talked about it. I got all that money from working with the National Guard, and so I'm like, well, I got all this money. I got to like use it.
Yeah.
Yes. I've never had like a
spoken
nice
like a true
never
bit.
had nice, gear. And as a drummer, who like does this for kind of a side job, I never had my own like cool stuff. So anyway.
Well, it's a nice drum set.
It'll be sweet.
And nice cymbals.
They are.
Those cymbals were probably a huge chunk of that price.
Probably a third. Yep.
Cymbals are so expensive.
Yeah, that's not fun. So anyway, that's the game I've been playing. And then I've been trying to finish Final Fantasy VII, but my son likes to destroy my basement and have Legos everywhere. So that's a project I got to clean up so I can even get to the couch to sit down.
That's such a great game.
I know. I want to finish it.
Is that on the Switch?
No, that's only PlayStation.
Yeah.
They had the 7.
Wait, is the remake not on the Xbox One?
Nope. It's timed exclusive.
Yeah. That's
so it will be soon?
PlayStation's better.
I think in a year.
And by that time, who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they'll have like the second disc or whatever.
Gosh.
There you go. That's my life.
How about you, Dave? What games are you playing?
I just played through the first Dead Space because it's been in my backlog for a long time. I originally played the second game years ago, and I really, really liked it. And
I had the game first?
Yeah.
You cheated.
Well, Jesse had the game, or it was his brother's, Brandon's other brother. And I borrowed the game from Jesse because Jesse didn't like the game or something, and I played through it and loved it. I thought it was awesome, and I didn't have very high expectations. And then years later, I bought the first one on Steam because it was on sale, but I hadn't played it yet. So, and since I just finished Last of Us 2 and some other games, I was like, oh, I'll look at my backlog. So I installed the first Dead Space and started playing it, and it was like the memories of playing the second one. It was kind of the same sort of experience where it was a horrifying game that was really fun. It's a tight story. You're a silent protagonist, so you're not having a lot of like annoying interactions with other characters. Mm-hmm.
Isaac Clarke, right?
Isaac Clarke, yeah. In the second game, he's not silent. But the first one, like, I think it's a good way to establish kind of this world as this more scary place because you don't interact with a lot of people. It's pretty much just the necromorphs that you encounter on the ship, and you're trying to escape from the ship basically after you crash there to fix the ship. And it's a horrifying experience. And kind of what they do with the whole the marker, if you guys know about that, it's this like kind of weird monolithic technology thing that they discover that is kind of integral to the necromorphs, and just the
Spoiler
whole
alert.
no, it's not a spoiler because from the very start you know about that, but it's this very atmospheric storytelling that I think Landon would really appreciate. I don't know as much Will because Will's like, character is everything. So but the combat's really good because it's all about placement of how you dispatch the necromorphs, because it's you have to remove limbs. You're not just shooting them in the head or shooting them in the chest to kill them.
Yeah, that's why I don't play that game because it sounds scary.
It is scary. It is very scary. I
like
think
scary games.
I thought
So I
the
would
Last
like
of Us. I thought the Last of Us Part 2 had some good scares. Dead Space and Dead Space 2 is much scarier than the Last of Us. Like the clickers and everything have nothing on necromorphs in these games. There's a portion in the first game where there's this military ship that the troops have these stasis things that increase their speed, and when they get attacked by the necromorphs and turned into necromorphs, they, because of the stasis machines in them, it had some issue with how it glitched into their bodies, and they move really fast, and it's one of the scariest things I have ever seen in a video game or a movie. And you play it at night, and you play it with your headphones on, and it's running straight towards you, like glitching like a creepy alien thing, and you're like horrifyingly trying to take off its limbs, but it's moving so fast.
I think I'm gonna pass. Like, thank you though.
It's a great game. It's
So
really short.
It's similar to like the Alien movies.
Oh
Like
yes,
that type of atmosphere and experience.
absolutely. I mean, it is essentially kind of like a spiritual successor to Alien in video game form.
In space.
In space.
Scream.
That's just yeah.
But
I can't play the Resident Evil games because I just get too involved. Like I want to survive, and they're like crashing through windows.
I mean,
you
yeah.
go inside the building, and then the music just stops. And you're like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" No. So I can't.
I mean,
That's such an interesting thing. Like when music is not used in like a horror movie, especially, that's like the scariest.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it totally adds.
Like music can almost ruin
Yep.
like tense moments because it's like almost holding your hand with how you're supposed to feel during a scene.
Mhm.
Sure.
When there's no music, you're like, what's
What am
happening?
I supposed to
What's
feel?
gonna happen? Why, yeah.
There is something in silence
Yes. there
every
is.
time.
Yeah.
So anyway, I can't play scary games because I'm just a wimp, I guess.
You should, Dave. You should play The Evil Within. That game's pretty.
Great birthday gift.
Hey, that Will. I asked Will like what I should get you. I'm like, this game.
That was Will's
Evil Within.
idea?
Will's like, oh, he would love The
Oops.
Evil Within. Okay.
But I would highly recommend Dead Space. It's a quick game. I'm playing through the second one again because I had such fond memories of the second one when I played it the first time. And now since I played the first game, I kind of want to finish the story. I've heard the third one's not great, so I probably won't touch that one. But because that one's more of a shooter. But these two games, if you like survival horror games with an awesome sci-fi universe that's difficult and challenging with fun combat, and you like atmospheric storytelling, then two
I
good
think I have
games.
the first one on my computer.
I mean, it's like, I think retail it's $10, so when it goes on sale, it's like $5 or $3 or something on Steam. I think I got the game for $5. It's a steal.
Brandon's gonna have to wait for it to go on sale.
Gonna have to. I got no money now. I spent it all.
Spent my $4,000 on my drum set. I don't have enough for a $5 video game now.
Can't. My problem is time. I don't have time for
That's
games.
fair. See,
Being
just
a
go back.
dad.
Stop having kids. No more kids. They got in the way of video games, Brandon, and that's unacceptable.
See, but once he gets older, and especially my daughter, maybe I'll turn her into a gamer, and then that's a trio. Think of all the cool stuff we could do.
You could
think about it.
I'm thinking.
You could all three of you play
once I
through a
get older,
campaign of Divinity Original Sin 2 together.
Shut up. Shut up.
Dave, I want more energy from you, not boring
Yeah,
topics.
you're bringing us down. You're tanking us.
See, I'm gonna be the older guy who's like 50, kids are gone, and I'm just in my basement playing games. Like, man, you're such a nerd. Like, no, I didn't have time when all these games were first coming out. So now I'm just
My backlog is
well, and then you think
huge.
about it now too. So like, I picture like my dad, downstairs playing Nintendo, like on the original, and just like, Dad, come on, man, you're such a nerd. But now I'm like, nope, that's gonna be me. Except the Nintendo now is PS5, with 4K TV.
Does your dad still play video games?
No, same thing. He just works, and so I work.
But he
with
would
him.
like to, right?
Oh yeah, as soon as he gets some
Yeah.
free time, I think he just would appreciate doing other things, not video games. But it's just time.
Man, I hope I don't get to that point.
I mean,
You don't want to grow up.
Yeah, I don't want to grow up. I don't want to not play video games.
Nope, I will play them. It will just be in probably 18 years. Well, 15.
It's rough. Well, by then, I'm sure part 2 of Final Fantasy VII Remake will come out,
That's what I'm saying. The remake of the remake.
or Kingdom Hearts 4. Whatever comes first.
Stop it! I'm getting excited.
What have you been playing, Will?
Actually, I just finished Last of Us Part 2. I just finished a game called Xenoblade Chronicles. And,
Isn't that like a 300-hour game?
it's a 50-hour story.
Oh, okay.
But I think another one in the series is 300. But it was pretty good. It wasn't all hyped up that it was supposed to be, I don't think. But
That's
now
Nintendo, right?
Yeah, it's Nintendo. And now I just bought God of War, so I'm gonna go and play through that, which I'm really excited because I heard it's amazing.
Yeah, it's got, I think, across the boards, extremely favorable reviews.
That won Game of the Year, right?
I believe so.
From
Yeah,
where?
Somehow it beat Red Dead 2.
The Game Awards. There's like bills. It
VGAs?
really doesn't matter, but
Was
like
it the VGAs?
I don't know.
VGA Awards?
The vegan? It sounds like vegan awards.
There's no awards for.
You don't get a prize for that. You suffer.
Reminds me of Scott Pilgrim versus the World. There's one of the enemies in the movie is a vegan. And it's really funny. But am I the only one that's seen that?
I've seen
seen
Scott Pilgrim. I've read all of the Scott Pilgrim books too.
Oh, I didn't even know there were books.
Yeah, they're based off of a comic.
Where do
Oh,
you think most of these movies come from?
There's no original ideas anymore, Will.
Yeah, movies are never the first thing you come across in the story. It's always an adaptation, right?
yeah, I'm
Like
both
Lord of the Rings,
disappointed and
those are
excited.
books.
What?
Wait, Star Wars? That was a book too? Dang, crazy.
Well, even Star Wars, those were highly based on like previous works, like all
1001
the
Faces?
what?
1001 Faces? I
Yeah,
think is what
and
it's
like
called. Johnny Quest? Johnny
Johnny Quest. No,
what is it?
uh,
Johnny Bravo.
No.
what is it called?
I don't know. I don't remember.
The old. They're like old sci-fi serials, not the type you eat, the type you watch.
What?
And like,
Fruit
yeah,
Loops.
I mean, a lot of stuff is just pulled from previous stuff.
Fruit Loops.
Womp, womp, womp.
Speaking of
Anyway.
sci-fi,
Speaking of Fruit Loops, Dave, you have a sci-fi quiz?
I do have a sci-fi quiz. We can close out with this. I made this because Brandon was going to be on the show today, and Brandon notoriously
gonna
hates
say
sci-fi.
this. I enjoy sci-fi.
So
Brandon loves sci-fi.
Landon,
Not a
Will, and I are
crazy
just gonna
person.
watch this
Mhm.
happen.
I'm just going to read things to Brandon. Brandon's going to fumble, give a wrong answer, and then we'll all laugh at him.
Every single one. I'm ready. I got broad shoulders.
Okay.
First, I'm gonna do it last.
Okay, first question is the hardest, and then it actually gets pretty easy.
No. It's time for trivia extraordinaire. Okay, go Dave.
All right. This is my sci-fi quiz for Brandon.
It's yours?
Many critics consider this author one of science fiction's most important authors, or even the Shakespeare of science fiction. His most notable works are The Time Machine, The Invisible Man, and The War of the Worlds, which was adapted by writer, actor, director of Citizen Kane, who shares the same last name.
See, I knew it was gonna be questions like this. I don't
This is the hardest
know.
one.
I've watched War of the
Let me
Worlds.
guess.
So his last name is Kane.
What were the other two? I don't even think I've watched those.
Can I guess?
Yeah, you can
No,
guess.
Is it H.G. Wells?
It is H.G. Wells. Good job, Landon.
Boys, let's go. boys.
Landon,
Let's go, boys.
sci-fi expert
Landon.
over here.
You just take over, my friend.
He
That
probably
was the
some
hardest
general in
question.
the Civil War
Okay.
or something.
Rest will be pretty easy. You guys can just shout out the answers as you go. There's no buzz in or whatever. This
Fruit
series was
Loops.
all right. How do you mute Will on here?
That is correct.
This series was produced and narrated by Rod Serling, who also wrote and co-wrote most of the episodes. It featured fantasy, suspense, and horror, as well as science fiction, with each episode being a complete story.
The Twilight Zone.
That is the Twilight Zone. It's the inspiration behind shows like The
Alright,
Outer
is
Limits.
Brandon's quiz?
Night
or like-
Gallery, and Black Mirror. No, I
I know
made
Twilight
this
Zone,
quiz
but I don't know who
because
wrote it.
Brandon was on the show. It's not Brandon's not the only one that can answer questions.
I need to watch The Twilight Zone.
Okay, this question is just a name. Tell me the thing that's associated with it.
George Lucas.
Gene Roddenberry.
Star Trek.
Yeah, there you go.
Trek.
Creator of Star Trek. He was a
Give him the
pilot.
easy ones.
He was a pilot in World War II. He was in like 92 combat missions, and then he became a commercial pilot. And then after that, he's like, "Okay, I'm going to write a crazy sci-fi
So
show."
he was also the inspiration for Catch 22.
I guess so. Okay, how many live-action Star Trek films are there, and how many can you name?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Star Trek the motion picture.
Star Trek the motion picture. Star Trek
Gotta
Wrath
give
of
a
Star Trek
Khan.
2.
Gotta give a number, y'all.
Search for Spock.
The Star Trek motion picture
There's
is
the
the first
whale
one.
No,
one.
but you said how many
The
are
whale
there?
one.
The
We're
whale
counting.
one.
So
You're doing that at the same
Star Trek
time.
the motion
It's
picture.
a two separate
one.
questions.
Okay, there's nine.
Nine, yeah.
Nine.
I was gonna say
No. There's way more than 9. There's way more than 9.
13.
There's 14.
14.
There are 13. Mick was
I was
right,
right.
and then Will led him astray.
Oh, are we
Okay.
counting the new ones?
So we
That's a
have
movie.
yeah, Star Trek. So you guys mentioned motion picture, Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock. The whale one.
over
The whale one is, I think, number 5, The Final Frontier. But there's also 4, The Voyage Home, and there's 6, The Undiscovered Country. Then there were 4 Next Generation movies: Generations, First Contact, Insurrection, and Nemesis. Nemesis is the one that has what's his
Tom
face?
Hardy in
Tom
it.
Hardy as the villain. Yeah. And then there's the reboot, Brandon's favorite Star Trek movies: Star Trek, Into Darkness, and Beyond.
Sure. I mean,
How come you don't like
Yeah.
those?
they're okay.
Because
They're
Brandon doesn't.
entertaining.
Brandon likes Star Trek that's people sitting on a bridge talking and discussing math problems.
It was
The
actually just interesting and not just flashy in your face.
The only Star Trek movies I've seen are the new 3, and I liked those.
So, I mean, they're entertaining for sure.
I'm watching the Next Generation with my dad, or we're watching some episodes and we're going through character arcs, and I'm starting to like it more than most Star Wars movies because it's actually, I think,
The writing
better
was good?
characters. Yeah, the writing's really good in those certain episodes.
What do you
Okay.
mean by character arcs? Like, are you like watching it not in order, or what
We're
is
not
that?
watching it in order, so we'd go through, like, at first we went through like some Picard and Riker episodes, like that focused on them, and then we went through some Wesley Crusher episodes, and then now we're going through Lieutenant Commander Data episodes, and they all have
Lieutenant
their own.
Commander.
He's my favorite character, definitely Data.
I like Data.
He's a great character.
Okay, next question.
You didn't name the best Star Trek movie though.
Wait, what do you mean?
Galaxy.
Oh, Galaxy Quest? Yeah. Oh, that was the
The
14th
best
movie?
Star
14.
Trek
I
movie.
told you 14.
I still need to watch that.
I actually like Galaxy Quest better than any of those Star Trek movies, hands down.
Because it was comedy.
No, because it's a great movie.
But do they have better characters?
Yes, they do. Have you seen Galaxy Quest, Will?
I actually haven't. No.
You should see it. I think you would appreciate it.
Have you seen
Oh,
it,
yeah.
Brandon?
Yeah,
I'm super
sit down,
excited to
yeah.
watch it.
Alan
Okay.
Rickman?
They're
Next
the
question.
TV characters, but then the aliens are like, this is real, and they built it. Yeah.
Okay, just spoil the whole movie.
Okay, next question. This epic science fiction film, notable for its use of Also Sprach Zarathustra, a piece of music by Richard
2001:
Strauss
Space Odyssey.
at the beginning of the film.
2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yes. Who's the director of that
2001: A
movie?
Space Odyssey.
The director of the movie was Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, there you go. This movie also came out the same year as 2001. It was remade by Tim Burton in 2001,
2001.
with the series receiving another
Planet of the
reboot.
Apes.
Yeah, there you go.
There you
Planet
go.
of the Apes. Which Star Wars film has the highest Metacritic score and which has the lowest? Not counting Star Wars: The Clone Wars from 2008.
The highest is The original.
I feel like it's got to be
No,
Empire.
the highest is The Last Jedi.
Highest
Yeah.
Metacritic score is episode 4 at 90.
Yes.
The
Let's
lowest. What's the
Is
lowest?
episode
Episode
2.
1. Episode 1.
I think
Lowest?
it is episode 1.
Lowest is episode 1 at 51. Okay.
Because
Bonus Metacritic Star Wars question. Which has a higher rating? Which has a higher rating? Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, or Episode 8, The Last Jedi?
The
Rating
Last Jedi
isn't
has a
what?
higher rating.
Rating is in what?
Metacritic score.
Last Jedi.
Last Jedi.
It is The Last Jedi with an 84. Empire Strikes Back has an 82. Such a travesty.
It kind of really shows that not all, critics aren't always right. Like critics can be
From a certain
wrong.
point of view.
The critics
Shut up,
are
Will.
evil. This film spawned a franchise, has facehuggers, chest bursters, and one particularly frightening foe.
Alien.
And what is that one particularly frightening foe?
Xenomorph.
Xenomorph.
Dude,
Who was the
Xenomorph is
warrant
such a
officer?
cool design.
Who was the warrant officer on the ship, and what was the ship's name?
Wait, can you say that again?
Bilbo.
Sorry.
Who was the warrant officer on the ship, and what was the ship's name?
I have no
The
idea.
warrant officer is the main character.
Is it the Normandy? Or the
Oh,
Sevastopol?
Ripley. If
Ripley?
Ripley.
Mm-hmm. And what's the name
I
of the
can't
ship?
remember the ship's name, though.
It's the Nostromo.
Oh.
Okay, this
Oh.
film's antagonist, played by Rutger Hauer, delivers a famous monologue close to the end of this movie, stating, "I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on
Blade
fire
Runner.
off the shoulder of Orion.
Blade Runner.
I watched sea beams glitter in the dark
Blade
near
Runner.
the Tannhauser Gate.
I need to
All
watch
those
that movie.
moments will be
It's
lost
good.
in
Blade
time,
Runner.
I haven't seen the
like
new one yet.
tears in
I
I heard
have
it's good.
No, I don't think I've seen it.
Blade
You
Runner.
need to see both those movies.
It's Blade Runner.
Rutger Hauer just passed away last year, I think.
Yeah,
Well,
recently.
I'm
Which
excited
cut of
because
Blade Runner do you watch?
You
Blade
watched the
Runner
final
was initially a
director's cut,
box
whichever-
office bomb, but due
whichever
to
one is
controversial changes
Okay,
requested
you're
by
not gonna-
studio
all right.
executives, has how many versions?
Thanks, Dave, for ruining the conversation.
It's got like
This is
8
part of the.
or
I
6.
read this because
It's got like 6
question.
versions. 6.
It has
Six.
7 versions of this movie.
Oh my god.
Basically, watch the latest version. That's
The
come
newest.
out. Yeah.
Okay. Director's final cut or final
Director's Final Cut XX Extraordinaire or whatever. Okay,
8
this is
hours
a bonus
long.
question. Brandon cannot answer this question.
It's because
It's because he's answered so many questions already.
Okay.
He hasn't given
Reruns.
us a chance.
Reruns start with the following narration. After the Earth was used up, we found a new solar system and hundreds of new Earths were terraformed and colonized. The central planets formed the Alliance and decided all the planets had to join under their rule. There was some disagreement on that point. After the war, many of the independents who fought and lost drifted to the edges of the system, far from Alliance control. Out here, people struggle to get by with the most basic technologies. A ship could bring you work. A gun would help you keep it. The captain's
Brandon
goal
has
was
his
simple.
hands-
Find a crew, find a job, keep flying.
Brandon has his hands up in
I
triumph.
think I know what it is, right?
Is it
Firefly?
yeah.
It's Firefly.
I
Brandon's-
got one.
Brandon, that's one of your favorites, right?
I do really enjoy Firefly.
I like Firefly.
I wish they, what's his face, Joss,
Joss
get his act
Whedon.
together.
Joss
and get the
Whedon.
crew back. Season 2 and 50. The movie was good too, Serenity, but they killed
Serenity?
my favorite character, man. Too
Oh, whoa, spoilers.
You don't know whose favorite character is.
They
Yeah, we
killed
do.
my favorite character.
I don't.
I mean, I've seen the movie, so
I
like
should say
I
they
can
killed
extrapolate who Landon's
2
favorite,
of my
Brandon's favorite
favorite
character is.
Okay, they killed all of my favorite characters. The
well,
jerk.
That was my sci-fi quiz.
Hey, we got to play the board game. It's been a while.
I'm disappointed there's no Dune question, Dave.
Well, I was trying to stick with like older stuff.
Where is the Battlestar
I mean, I
Dune
know
is
that-
1950s.
okay, let me finish. Stuff that people would know the answer to. Will's the
has
only one
book
here that
right now. He's looking up the date.
Will's the only one here that knows
Oh,
about Dune.
1965.
Thanks, Will.
Mic
Yep,
drop.
no problem.
Boom.
I need to read that book.
I started it.
I started it.
It's not bad.
What's the book?
Dune.
What's read?
What?
I'll just watch the movie from
I
like
think
the
I have
80s,
Dune.
right?
Yeah, I haven't
Oh
read it
gosh.
though. There's a few books I have that I haven't read.
Dune might be considered the best
Yeah.
sci-fi novel of all time.
Shelf.
By you or
By collective, like, how do I say this? A lot of people would consider Dune the greatest sci-fi novel of all
It's
time.
yeah. It's
Sometimes critics are wrong.
It's considered to be like the greatest of all time.
No, but like
lot of
the
people.
common people,
The
the
collective?
voices that matter, really.
the
Kind of
voices that matter? Whoa, how do you
deemed
determine
it.
whose
The
voices
people
matter?
who vote.
I'm joking.
People
I'm
who vote
joking.
with their
I'm trying to
wallet.
make a jab at Last of Us 2. Like,
Yeah, that's all you try to do.
Well, do you know
it's
how
because
many,
you need.
how
It's
many
because you need to
copies
open
of,
your eyes,
how
Landon.
many copies of Dune have been sold?
Oh, so way too many.
Way too many. What?
Millions,
It's a number I've
millions.
never heard.
Well, I don't know. Like, do you think I know that information on me like right away?
Yeah,
Like
that's why I asked you.
Yeah, I would hope
30.2 billion copies. Like, no, I don't know.
Okay, thanks, Will.
All right. Well,
Okay, Dave, is your quiz done?
Yeah, I already said that it was done.
Oh, yay! Good job, Dave. Thanks
What do you mean? Good job, me. It was you
I like
guys were
the
the ones that
last
answered the questions.
Yeah, but you.
you brought a nice high energy quiz.
Yeah, thanks for bringing some oomph to this podcast.
All right,
We
all right.
really need
Well,
it.
thanks for listening this week, everybody.
You don't have to
No,
close it
we're
out.
not
You don't
done
have to-
yet. We're not done
to
yet.
end this.
Oh, I gotta get lunch.
You don't have that power.
My wife's been blowing up my phone. Gotta go get some BK for the
BK.
case.
Bunky Kong.
Donkey Kong.
I like Burger King.
It's all
good.
right.
It's good. It's okay.
It's
I'm
better
not a
than
fan.
McDonald's.
I like McDonald's more.
No, McDonald's is better. I'm sorry.
Burger King.
Burger
is
King's
better
the
than
bottom of the
McDonald's.
chain.
Burger King.
No.
They're like they're all
McDonald's is the
terrible.
bottom. What are you talking about, Will?
No,
no,
McDonald's is a step
Burger
higher
King.
than
All the
Burger
Burger
King.
King
No.
in Spokane make bad food though. Like they're like it's always cold or like takes 20 minutes in the drive-through.
I'm not talking about the experience. I'm talking about the actual food.
No, I'm saying, but the food comes out not good. Like if it was cooked
No.
pristinely, it'd probably be better. But like it always comes
No.
out looking like
Hey,
crap.
why do you say pristine in the fast food?
That's your problem there. You're expecting like some Red Robin burger.
I'm just saying. Like I typically get a better burger from McDonald's.
No.
I
They're
second
both
that. I
terrible.
second that.
When a burger's squirt out of a tube, you can't have a good burger.
Dude,
I feel like
I feel like Burger King is squirted out of a tube as well. Like the only
they're
fresh.
plain-
It's
never
flame
frozen.
broiled, Will.
How you-
how you
Broiled.
cook it doesn't
Mother trucker,
mean what
come
it's
on, let's
made
go.
of. Like
I feel like the
A Burger
only
King
the only
tastes
burger.
like an actual burger. You can taste the individual ingredients in there. A McDonald's burger tastes like one squirted thing between two.
a burger,
Flat-
I
a burger
disagree.
should be one
I
ingredient.
disagree.
It's the hamburger.
What are you talking about?
Huh?
Well, you're crazy and you don't like anything on your burger.
No, I mean,
Yeah, Landon, you're a little picky when it comes to your food that you create.
You're like, oh, is that green? Get it off of there.
I like lettuce on my burger sometimes.
Sometimes.
Do you like pickles on your burger?
Oh heck no!
What is wrong
What?
with
What?
you?
I want that on
I
there.
like pickles.
Pickles.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
Yeah. See, you don't know what a burger is. That's your problem.
All right.
Landon's picky. Landon's a picky man.
Yes.
I'm a little picky. It's fine. It's fine.
Little?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Now made with real beef. And now made with only white meat. Well, what kind of meat was it before?
Okay. Well, on that note, comment down below with your favorite fast food chain, either between Burger King or McDonald's. Okay. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. That's this episode for this week. You guys have anything else? Last 10 seconds to talk about?
Nope.
Quack,
Give me a
quack.
10-second topic.
Quack quack.
Thanks. Okay. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Hot+keys podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Castbox, YouTube, and other podcasting platforms. Visit our website, www.hotkeyspodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter at HotKeysPodcast and join our Facebook group at facebook.com/HKHotkeys. Please like and review us and subscribe to the show on whichever platforms you use. Finally, you can contact us via email at hosts@hotkeyspodcast.com.